Hi YouTube. Thanks for joining me. Oh, I yesterday I made a homemade pizza. Made the dough first and then cooked it part way and um then put the toppings on it later, some sausage and a couple different kinds of olives and onions and peppers. I pre-cooked the onions too because I don't like that raw taste on there. And then cheese, of course, and it was so good, really good. Tonight I'm just gonna fry some eggs, so it'll be easy because I've been cooking my brains out lately. So, oh, today I was talking to Doug and taking some tests on Facebook. Was kind of fun, like geography and language, and then I went into biology 101 and pre-med, which I passed. It said you can be a doctor, and I told Doug, I said, well, I did take nursing, so I was like kind of ahead of the game. But I told Doug, yeah, it said I could be a doctor. I should start doing brain surgery. And he says, I got tools out in the shop. Or I said, I should start doing brain surgery on some people. And he said, he's got tools out in the shop. So yeah, that's a little grody, come to think of it. But yeah, but why weren't tests fun in school? They're fun now, but yeah, they really weren't. The only tests I took that were kind of fun were human communication courses. I just loved that class, and well, I was getting A pluses in it anyway. So, and the teacher was so sweet. She was really cool. I had my son there with me one time, and he was 11, and she let him take a college course test with us. Kind of kept him quiet during the. He could have sat in the commons area, and there's TV, and there was a lounge and whatnot, but I'd buy him like snacks and put him in there sometimes if he was out of school while I was still in school. It was a couple blocks away, so sometimes he'd just show up, which would be shocking. And this was one of them times. I was just about ready to take a test. I look up and there's my youngest son. I'm like, oh my God. That teacher was so sweet. How nice to help me out like that. I mean, I could have missed out taking my test that day and might have had to even miss out taking it that whole quarter. So she was really cool, really nice lady. And I don't remember her name, but I've been thinking about how we know they burned that library of Alexander Library down. And I have it on good authority that them books did not burn, they were hidden, taken. That's why some of the, I'll call it upper echelon for lack of a better term, um, Lionel Nation's wife, Lynn, calls the elite the delete. So, yeah, the delete say they deleted the books, but they didn't. So that's why they act like they know more than the average person, because they do, typically. I'd like to think, and I actually know for a fact, that I knew more than most of them, probably 99 and 9/10. So there I was fortunate with my education in and out of the Masonic Lodge. So, yeah, lucky me, kind of, like that. But that's the topic of my conversation today, is how they left books out of the King James or the scriptures. We'll just call it the scriptures, and they mixed them around. And I was thinking, if it's going to be as in the days of Noah, what if Revelations already happened and they're playing that out? See, if the war was in heaven, well, now the war is in heaven in our minds. Yeah, we know like good people or bad people, and that's who we fight against. Good ones fight the bad ones, vice versa. It's a fact. It's a matter of fact. So I was just thinking about that, and like there's two different Johns in the Bible that people confuse. There's John the Baptist, that was a friend of Jesus, and there's John the Baptizer, who was actually Satan in the flesh, like he was Saul that became Paul, and that type, or his other various hundreds of names throughout the world, and history. But these people have deleted our history to the point where you have to think logically and you have to read stuff with your heart and think, well, does that make sense? Because um, if you try and just read it in succession, because it does jump back and forth, and that is the way they placed it like that, to be able to say in these times, look how fake this book is. It just doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, if you're going to take something that was Arabic, change it to Greek, and then into Hebrew, and then into English, this is a succession of the Tower of Babel. And actually, you have French words in there and Spanish words, and, you know, a saying that could be from Ethiopia, or Syria. Some of them little villages over in Syria they're trying to take out. And I'm serious about this. Know the Word of God and know what's in the real scriptures. And that's why they want to take them out, because they know the Word of God. It's nothing to do with oil, it's power over other human beings worldwide. So they get together in their little cliques and they talk about what they're going to do next to keep the truth from coming out. And the great big lies are easier for them to cover up because they've been doing it for hundreds of years to us, to keep us on a working man's level, period. They never really had much success keeping me in line anyway. I don't do that well, you know. I'm pretty much a rebel, always have been. So, um, but yeah, really thinking about it, regardless of how they jumbled the books or what parts they left out that are pretty important and will come out into the light, everything will come out. And when it does, really, well, you can't blame people that are dead, you know, but at least we'll know our history better. So, um, but that goes back to making sense out of different things and why it doesn't make sense. And then if you have certain religions that are injecting their own input, their own language, taking parts out, adding to it, oh, that's okay. We'll just change this commandment so we won't be sinning. How ridiculous is that? That type of thing, like the Catholic Church. Well, we'll just say that if you're divorced, you can get married now because then we'll have more people in our church. Or if you're think you identify with a different gender, we're going to say this is okay now so you can fit in. It's not that two whole cities were totally, completely destroyed because of that in history, you know. Um, I'm not judging on anybody. Do what you do. When it's your turn to talk to God, that's up between Him and you. That's all there is to it. I just know what I want in my life and what I want and like around me personally. So, has nothing to do with any. And skin color and gender are altogether different. Although women have been downtrodden in this society more than they were in history. There was a lot of strong women in history that were leaders. Not that I want to be, but I know I lead my share, you know, the right ones. So that brings me to something. I'm not going to name no names because I won't give credence to this person because I felt insulted. So I'll just leave it at that because I thought he actually might have been worthy to be a friend, but I don't think so. I'm thinking no. But He come out, he said he's a Mason. Okay, so big deal. Couple people, well, a guy asked him twice on a live stream, and I saw Richie from Boston was there too. He says, what degree are you? He asked him twice. Guy wouldn't answer, you know. And then he goes to say that he believes everybody's born with an angel, but yet he doesn't believe in God. But he believes in a higher power. These people, whatever you want to call your higher power, so somebody calls Allah God or Jehovah or whatever it may be, um, doesn't take away from the fact of what is that we didn't make ourselves, you see. So, and we know right from wrong in our hearts. That's where the laws of God are written on our hearts. So, I had somebody talking about, I think you were trying to say the one that was talking about, well, my guitar, for instance. Um, you were talking about a treatment center, like how, like the Word of God was all jumbled up in there. Is that what you were getting at? Maybe it was. I worked in a treatment center and I met some really remarkable people there. And I would accredit a lot of people getting clean because they know God's written on their heart. Not really anything they read. I think people benefit more from meeting other people that feel the same in their hearts, no matter what it is. We kind of like work on each other and help each other pick each other up, that type of thing. So, but it befuddled me a little bit how this person, putting down my tiny channel and hi friends and family. You might be small, but you're golden, you know. And I might say, well, if you're kind of a junky person, you don't need to be here anyway. So, go find that Mason. He will talk to you. That was a little mean. Okay, that was intentional. Yeah, it was. So anyway, yeah. And it's easier for me to communicate on a smaller channel, and being that I'm not trying to make any money or sell anything, just get truth out to people that they kept our history from us, and that's important for us to um, advance as human beings. If you're acting in a regressive manner, well, you really don't need a book for that anyway. You can feel it in your heart. That's a separation from God. That is hell. You one sub friend, new friend, likened it to crawling out of the abyss or climbing out of the abyss. That's true. That's in our hearts and in our minds. That's that separation feeling where we feel lost and lonely and confused, that type of thing. And yeah, drug addictions will do that. So any kind of addiction. Here, as I puff my cigarette. So, yeah, I'm not claiming to be perfect or anybody's messiah or whatever, which just means messenger, good or bad, by the way. So you might be born with an angel, but who's your daddy? So I know who mine is. So it isn't those screaming demons. Oh, and then I heard SJD singing to Robin. What was that? A Elvis song. Um, Caught in a Trap. Oh, Suspicious Minds is the name of it. And oh, these when okay, there's something else came to my mind, another song, but I guess I can't remember it right now. Maybe I'll think of it. It's just funny. He was singing that, you know. because I love you too much, baby. He's singing to Robin. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when I don't believe a word you're saying is the rest of it, you know? So, anyway, we can't go on together with suspicious minds. Poor Steve. Yeah, Steve, sorry. I know you love Robin. He loves you too. Yeah, isn't that lovely? Yeah, I think so actually, because I think people can work things out, you know. Oh, that's what I was gonna write. Let's see now. It had something to do with your daddy, your daddy's money. Um, oh, maybe it almost was there, one of them things, but it was a song I was gonna write. Something like oh, I don't know. It was funny. It might come back to me. But yeah. So anyway, this Freemason. You probably saw it. Well, I'm a Freemason. Well, whoop de doo, like I didn't know. And I know colors. Well, that's very good. You know colors. I know colors too. And guess what? I don't buy most of my wardrobe. Most of it's picked out for me with colors that I look good in anyway. But the representation of orange really suits my personality. So yeah, that is strength and confidence. So no matter who thinks what. And buddy, as you like to say, I know you probably don't watch this, or maybe you will, because I told you I would give you my input in a video. So, this shirt, there's your input. Yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, um, I personally think, well, oh yeah, here, I'll spit it out. My friends would help me. I have friends all over the world, and I don't have to be a part of any kind of organization to have that help. Everywhere I go, people like me. So, yeah, that's true. And I'm far from boring. I was accused of being boring pretty much, you know. And guess here's another thing, dude. There's nothing you can do to me. Nothing. All over the world, all of you. I mean, you could kill me. I'd welcome it. You have no idea. Because then I'd be stronger. And I'm not afraid of that. You are. So keep that in mind. Yeah. That's that little bit of Lucifer in everybody. It's called torment. So, how to control a Mason's mind 101. Piss them off. They're easy to piss off. Seriously. They are. They've got such swelled heads. Oh, you're swell. Get it? Dang, I'm on a roll. Oh, yeah. Oh, did you say you wanted me on a roll? No, not happening. Then somebody else asked him if they had actually, if he had tried that. I forget what they call when you get somebody so scared and then they take that juice from the cannellini or whatever and drink it and all that weird ass mental retarded crap that they've been said to have done with that bloodline. But whether or not, you know, they still have swollen heads, I don't care. I enjoy being in a whole room full of either Eastern Star or Masons. I really do. Because, for one, some of them are pretty bright as far as uh, using their third eye. They're very talented in that area. Um, what they hear when they do read into me, because I've learned to open that like a book for them if I want to. If I choose to close it, it's closed. But it's open for the most part. And what they see, they don't like because I'm laughing at them. Yeah. So, and then the reverse psychology being reversed and all the little tactics and their language skills that they're lacking that I'm far better at. Those little things, that don't bother me, but bother them, little tactics is demonology, terminology is what it is. How to speak like a demon and you can't prove it, basically is the bottom line. So, and that's not with all of them. Not every one of them is bad. And I'll give anybody a chance to be my friend. It's like I told Doug, I actually thought I saw something in this person, and he started laughing because he knows when I say I thought I did, that I'm done. So the reason why I'm bringing it up is because that's what I've been busy doing for a couple days is communicating with this person. So on a small level. He doesn't talk back, but he does a video and he doesn't have to mention me. That's cool too. But I mean, it would be out of courtesy. I mean, me personally, I answer my subs in my comments, I talk to them. And when people do that, or at least like your comment or whatever, he says, give me input. Well, there you go. There's your flipping input. Here's a little more input for you, you know? So, um, yeah, nobody's got so many subs that they can't take. I mean, make less videos then and talk to your people, man, if that's what you're really all about, you know. Or unless they really are being jerks, you know, then it's not worth your time. But if somebody is actually worth your time and they're benefiting society and trying to help brothers and sisters out in this world, well, then it's worth your time, So, anyway, I'd much rather have an honest friend than a shady anything, you know. Any kind of communication with anybody shady is beneath me. So, yeah, I thought there was more there. And that's a little sad, but, because when you meet somebody that's intelligent and you think to yourself, or kind, or whatever their values are that you see, and you think, I could befriend that person. Well, when you find out that that's not friend material, that's a little sad, that's all. Or if they don't see that in you, that's sad too, but that's okay. Then it isn't worthy in my eyes anyway. So that's the way I think about it. And, did you know? I don't know if you know, but I'll let you know. If you have God in your heart, you have willpower. Willpower is more than just words. Willpower is actually willing your own power. They can trick and they can finagle and they can try and do things, and God will grant them some, a small sum. But guess what? You get a lot more sum of that when you're truly a compassionate person. When you have empathy for everybody in the world, you have lots of will. As far as even controlling weather will, um, seriously, all kinds of things. Maybe not necessarily material things in your life, but if you think about how the Native Americans would dance for rain and then it would start raining. Willpower. Talking to God. So, and they literally, some tribes would kill the medicine man if they didn't get rain because that was a bad omen for their tribe, that he had done misdeeds and brought that darkness upon them. So they would slay his butt, you know. So, yeah. So I got a little bit of a, oh, I won't call it a threat. I will call it a tit for tat type of thing. You think you can do this, I know I can do that. So, like I told this person, for people that aren't, their hearts aren't open, it's going to be a long road for them. Very long. So, I won't go into detail, but I do have plans. What the hell? Somebody wants to try and jack me around, I'll jack you back. And you'll know it was me, but just like you won't be able to prove it because I'm not going to name your name. So I don't need your I don't need your name. I got one of my own. In fact, I got a lot of names. I got a lot of names for you too, but I aren't going to say them yet because I'm still giving you a chance. This video is called Your Chance. So you think you don't want to be pissed off? Neither do I, and I only get pissed off if my feelings get hurt. It's not an ego thing. It's a heart thing. So just think about it, because nobody wants people thinking bad of them. That does go back to the Father, and the Father works through us. That's not a threat. That's a fact. It's karma. When bad things happen to bad people, they brought it on themselves. Sometimes good people go through bad things, then we find out why we did afterwards. So, yeah. Oh, I have some dill drying out for dill pickles, drying out in my living room on a hook by my wood stove out there, so it dries quick, so no moisture gets at it. It's been really rainy. Even this morning it rained, and it looked like it's going to rain a little bit now, and it's just like been a really wet summer. But the whole house smells like dill. Doug's like, we should just hang some more of that. Like, oh, well, this should be dry in a day or so now. And he's like, we should get another bunch to hang. Well, it is antimicrobial. So, like a antiseptic too. So, I love dill. I like putting dill on yogurt. I like it in like potato soup. You can put it on scrambled eggs. It's really good for you. Super good. So, um, a person could get carried away with it a little bit. I put some in a bunch of pickles I had. Um, a lot of it. So they're really going to be dill pickles. But the one batch I made garlic dill. So it'll have like both flavors in there. So those will be great. So, and even some that I had that were store bought, I put in some real dill. But the pickles I made aren't like green like the store bought ones. So I know they must have blue and yellow dye in there to make green. And I'm sure they do if I look on the label. Most of the times I do look at the label, and I'm allergic to yellow and red dye. I think everybody would be then. But we're usually pretty careful what we put in our systems, and we are label readers, but these were some really nice looking pickles, but I think they have dye in them. I really do. I have to check them out. I'll definitely be eating mine before I eat them ones anyway. So just have them hanging around in the pantry for just in case spare stuff. Like if I run out of something or something. Because we live out in the country, we just can't walk to the store or whatever and get what we need. We like Doug goes a lot because he's got car parts to pick up a whole bunch, and he's working on a international truck that's got a tilt bed, so we can get hay and wood home. And we used our other truck last year, but this one we just got, and well, it's been a while now, but he's been working on it, and every single part that he's got has either come from out of the United States or they've gotten given them the wrong parts. One, it was the let me see, calipers for the front wheels. Um, they sent them over to a neighbor's house. They're building a log home across the street from us, back in the woods, and the Finnish carpenters that were there, when they left, they taped up the whole house with saran wrap, like the doors and everything, because there's nothing in there, but still they just kind of, so if you go through it, it's like breaking and entering. Well, he saw that the packages were in there on the porch, but he couldn't go through there, so he had to wait till somebody got there. But speedy delivery had taken them to that place across the street, and they sat there for over a couple weeks, almost 3 weeks. He was waiting for these parts to get here. This whole truck, he's putting a stake bed on the back now, but this whole truck has been nothing but a nightmare. He's like, I think it's haunted. Maybe it is. I never know. So, or maybe God's just saying, you're really gonna like this truck when you're through with it because look what it's put you through. you know. Yeah. So anyway, I really did enjoy taking those tests today, though. They were fun. You know, bummed me out. I could have done better, but Doug was talking at the same time, and a couple times, and I do this often, which is silly. On tests, I second guess myself. I know the answer, then I answer wrong because I think, maybe not, because they're kind of tricky. And then I answer it wrong. It's like, duh, I knew it, you know. I did that a few times today. It's like, God dang it. But that's okay. It's supposed to be for fun, I think. But at least I didn't fail them. So that's cool. I've taken actual medical tests, so these ones online, I think, well, for sure they're patterned after that, you know, like the LPN stuff. Well, it's supposed to be pre-med doctor, but, and yeah, I've met some doctors that weren't too bright. Then I took a biology test, and you would think that a lot of doctors would know their biology too, but it makes you wonder when you go and see them, doesn't it? You know, when I always go in there and I tell them, well, you tell them what's wrong with you, but you don't necessarily usually tell them how to treat it. So I do. And I don't take no for an answer. If they don't do what I want to do, then I'm out of there. And that's the way I do things. So, yeah. I think everybody should. I mean, they say, doctor, heal yourself or be your own physician, or, Christ's inside of us. And if they're going to go and give you a pill or something and Christ is in there screaming, no, no, don't take it. It's going to make you feel worse. Like there was a meme on Facebook. It said, why am I taking a medicine that causes the same symptoms of what I'm taking it for? You know, and that's true. It's like you have glaucoma, so they give you some drops may cause blindness, you know. That's ludicrous, you know. So yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I wanted to get on here. There's my few friends and family that wait to hear me, and another I know listens at work and during the day. And my son and daughter-in-law and sisters once in a while, and that type, and my new friends and friends that I've talked to now for quite a while. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me, and I'll probably be back tomorrow. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. And hey, Mason, straighten up and fly right, dude. There is a God. You didn't make yourself. When you can make a raindrop, or anybody on this planet can make one raindrop, just that. I'm not talking about flesh or any other material. And I'm not talking about osmosis. I'm talking from scratch. Then you tell me there isn't a God no matter what the name is. Because higher power don't cut it. It's a little more than power, wouldn't you say? It's a little more involved as far as biology, the mechanics of a human being, give your creator credit. You know, the way you people are going, it's like, if I don't give the creator credit, I can keep doing the seven deadly sins and not account for them. And that's what it's all about, trying to evade God. It's like if I ignore him, he'll just go away. No, he's inside you, in your blood, knowing your every move with that little electronics in there, that little triple cell. So, anyway, love you all. Thank you. Peace.